Okay, so the topics for your midterm examination will be discussed in this short video, and only the things that I'll be sharing here will be included in the examination. Okay, so for health-related behavior, as you know, it encompasses the different actions na yung mga ginagawa natin in order for us to maintain, enhance, or even restore nga yung health natin, and it plays a very important role in preventing different illnesses as well as promoting yung longer life natin, and as outlined doon sa book, if you have read it, itong behaviors nito class, these are influenced by um, interplay, complex na interplay ng biopsychosocial factors, and dito sa discussion natin, yun na nga, discuss natin shortly, somehow, yung paano nga ba ni-explore yung nature, ng health behaviors, yung different determinants, especially sa adoption and maintenance, developmental and sociocultural variations and strategies for health promotion. And hopefully, by understanding itong mga elements na ito, individuals and professionals will be able to have healthier lifestyles as well as reduce yung burden ng mga diseases nga na ito, And again, also dito sa chapter na to, ina-emphasize din natin, syempre yung mga modern na leading na causes ng death, katulad ng cardiovascular diseases, cancer, and iba pang lifestyle related na mga sakit. And by adopting healthful behaviors, alam naman natin, katulad ng pagkakaroon ng balanced nutrition, regular exercise, hindi pag-smoke, pag-inom ng alcohol, that could actually extend yung life expectancy natin, by up to somehow kahit mga 12 years, according to the book. And yun na nga, though yung mga behaviors natin, sometimes inconsistent siya, pero it's changeable, that highlights the fact na we have to be able to target, yung mga needs, for interventions. Okay? So, yung key concepts nga nito, health-related behavior class, health-related behaviors, they are categorized into three types based on the individual's health status. Una, well behavior, which means these are actions undertaken by healthy individuals to prevent illness. Katulad ng pag-exercise, pagkain nga ng nutritious na food, being vaccinated or getting vaccinated, And yung motivation dito, it stems from perceived threats and benefits. Though convenience and pleasure can also deter yung adherence. Next one naman, yung symptom-based behavior, yung mga responses dito dun sa mga perceived symptoms, including seeking medical advice or self-diagnosis. And we have to understand also that cultural differences somehow influence how symptoms are interpreted and addressed. And sa sacral behavior naman, these are activities performed after illness diagnosis to recover, such as following prescriptions or resting, And compliance dito, it's often low, and if treatments are inconvenient. So dito class, itong mga behaviors na ito, they're not always stable. They can actually become habitual, through repetition, pero they are still susceptible to change, because of circumstances, in life, or maybe because of new information. Okay? Next, yung lifestyle risk factors and health naman, Unhealthful lifestyles contribute to risk factors like smoking, poor diet, and activity. And these, have actually have a connection, sa pagkakaroon ng major diseases. And for instance, yung data from our book, it showed that 70-year-old men with no risk factors have a 50%, 54% chance of living to 90, dropping to 4% with 5 factors such as smoking, obesity, and yung mga interdisciplinary perspectives nga, katulad ng behavior, environmental, and preventive na medical levels na ito, prevention levels na ito, they advocate for primary avoidance, or secondary early detection, and tertiary or damage containment na prevention, behavioral, environmental, and preventive medical perspectives pala yan. Okay. So, to easily understand, sa prevention levels, primary, secondary, and tertiary, when we say primary prevention level, it's more on the actions to avoid disease or injury. Katulad ng vaccination, use of seatbelt, and health education. Pag secondary prevention level naman, it's the early identification and treatment, such as mammograms or nagpapa-check ng BP. And tertiary prevention level, it's more on managing advanced conditions na, no? Such as undergoing physical therapy for arthritis and pain management for cancer. Ano? You just have to remember na yes, there will be problems as we promote wellness. Siyempre, meron diyang mga individual resistance, ayaw talaga nila, interpersonal conflicts, siyempre yung habits or paniniwala ng family, and even community barriers, kapag may limited access sa mga services. And that's one thing, or those are the things na, siyempre, most of the time, we cannot really take hold of, so, ayan, we have to understand that there are things that are happening talaga that's beyond our control, even though we wanted sana to give the best possible service, to the patients. Next one, determinants of health-related behavior. Health behaviors are shaped by learning, social influences, emotions, perceptions, and cognitive processes. And sa learning and general factors, syempre may mga genetic influences dyan, especially yung heredity, how it affects yung behavior ng mga tao, katulad ng pagiging alcoholic, so operant conditioning, may mga behavioral change, na ang cause niya ay reinforcement, pwedeng positive or negative, extinction or punishment, and dito pumapasok yung modeling, from peers or media na nagpa-play ng role nga doon sa determinants ng health-related behavior. Next, social personality and emotional factors. Siyempre, may mga social encouragement, consensuousness, and even stress. Lahat ito nakaka-influensya din sa health-related behavior ng tao. And last one, perception and cognition. Mga symptoms that guide actions, but errors, that it occur pa rin. And syempre, may mga unrealistic din daw nga na optimism that leads to underestimating itong mga risks na ito. And sa theories or beliefs and intentions, several theories explain rational decision making. Pero meron siyang tatlong hinighlight, yung health belief model or HBM. It's more on yung preventive action niya. It depends on perceived threat, yung seriousness or susceptibility or cues to action, and meron siya mga pros and cons, benefits minus barriers, and supported ito for behaviors like vaccination. Next one naman, yung theory of planned behavior, TPB. Intentions predict behavior, sabi niya nga dito, and influenced by attitudes, subjective norm, and perceived control. And the history of behavior also strengthens predictions. And the last one, the stages of change model. Readiness progresses through pre-contemplation, contemplation, preparation, action, and maintenance. And matching interventions to stages enhance success. So, dun na sa theory ng health belief model, yung key component niya is that yung threat perception plus pros and cons, anong applicable na example dun? Siyempre, nagkakaroon ng high barriers, na nade-deter ng mammogram. And some theory of planned behavior naman, attitude plus norms plus control, self-efficacy boosts exercise adherence. And last one naman, sa stages of change, na model, it's more on readiness stages, and application example niya, preparation stage aids smoking, cessation planning. Okay? So, sa less rational na processes, sa non-rational factors, sabi niya, it include motivational reasoning. Meron daw bias towards preferred conclusions, Meron ding false hope and willingness. So, over-optimism about success despite failures and spontaneous risks in appealing situations. And emotional factors, stress impairs attention, conflict theory highlights hypervigilance under stress. And sa developmental gender and social-cultural factors, sa developmental changes, may mga risks na na-evolve nga. Katulad ng mga infants na ka-experience ng birth defects, adolescents na nagkakaroon ng risky behaviors, elders na nagkakaroon ng chronic diseases, and yung prevention goals kasi nag-shift siya. Usually, pag mga bata, vaccination, pag matanda naman, exercise. So, gender differences naman, women live longer due to lower activity, estrogen protection, and healthier habits but report more acute na mga illnesses. And sa social cultural factors, there are yung mga lower classes daw and minorities, they face actually higher risks ng mga alam niyo na, pagkaroon ng mga sakit kasi poverty, discrimination, and limited access contribute dun sa pagkakaroon nga nila nito mga ito, and even yung mga culturally sensitive programs na yun, very essential yan para mas ibigyan nga sila ng appropriate nga na na help for them. And programs for health promotion. Ano ba mga effective programs? Sabi niya dito, effective programs use information fear appeals, motivational interviewing, and behavioral cognitive methods. Pag sa schools and religious organizations, comprehensive, family-involved programs, yan, kapag reduce ka ng risks, Next, worksite and community programs, more on wellness initiatives, address, multiple risks, media campaign, yan, nakaka-lower din ng mga risks yan. Electronic interventions, pwede sa internet and computer programs, may mga naka-tailor na advice for behaviors like smoking cessation, and HIV/AIDS focus, may mga targeted na high-risk groups with education, skills training, and family involvement to promote safer sex and needle practices. So, in general, to summarize yung health-related behavior natin, yung pinaka-center niya talaga is more on preventing yung chronic diseases, by the or through the primary, secondary, and tertiary efforts, na-discuss natin. And yung determinants, katulad nga ng learning, beliefs, and non-rational processes, age, gender, and social cultural factors, yan, they necessitate tailored promotions. Programs, in diverse settings, enhance adherence. But somehow, nag-relapse siya, so kailangan nga ng ongoing and continuous na support, And katulad nga ng in-emphasize sa book natin, we have to integrate biopsychosocial approach for us to be able to foster sustainable health improvement.